Breaking news. The internet is shaking once again. Just when you thought the T. Hood tragedy couldn't get any darker, his own sister has stepped into the fire, and she's not holding back. In a brand new video that's already going viral, she's pointing fingers, naming names, and unleashing accusations so explosive they've left fans speechless. According to her, T. Hood's close circle, the very people who claimed to be his ride or die, might have played a role in the chaos that led to his downfall. And she doesn't stop there. She goes straight for Kelsie, his supposed friend, dropping bombshell claims that Kelsie wasn't innocent at all, and that the violence wasn't one-sided. Her words? "They both did DV. Stop acting like y'all don't know the truth." The internet is on fire with this revelation. Is she protecting her brother's legacy? Or is she exposing a truth that the world wasn't ready to hear? Fans are divided, the industry is whispering, and insiders are hinting that this video is just the first spark of a much bigger storm. But here's the real question. If T. Hood's sister is right, then what really happened between him and Kelsie? And why are insiders now warning that even more shocking footage could be on the way? Stay locked in, because this story is about to twist in ways no one saw coming. To understand why this latest video from T. Hood's sister has set the entire internet on fire, you have to go back to the tangled web of friendships, betrayals, and scandals that's been haunting his name for years. Hood wasn't just another rapper trying to make it. He was a street legend in the making. His raw sound, unapologetic energy, and no-filter personality made him both loved and feared. But behind the music, behind the viral clips, there was always chaos lurking in the shadows. And at the center of that chaos? Kelsie. Kelsie wasn't just a friend. He was supposed to be family. They came up together, grinding out tracks in basements, pulling all-nighters in studios, and vowing that no matter how crazy fame got, they'd always ride for each other. But somewhere along the way, that loyalty cracked. Insiders say the tension between T. Hood and Kelsie started years ago over women, money, and street politics. Rumors swirled that Kelsie felt overshadowed, trapped in T. Hood's shadow while T. Hood climbed higher. And while they publicly appeared to be brothers, people close to them whispered that their fights behind closed doors were brutal. Fast forward to the months leading up to T. Hood's tragic downfall, and the cracks were no longer whispers, they were explosions. Clips began to leak of heated arguments between the two. Tweets and subliminals flew back and forth. Fans speculated that they were done for good. But then came the darkest allegations of all: violence. At first, it was easy for fans to frame it as one-sided. The narrative painted Kelsie as the victim, the one who had endured too much, the one who stayed quiet while T. Hood spiraled. But T. Hood's sister is now flipping that story upside down, and this is where it gets even more twisted. For months, Kelsie played the role of the hurt friend, the one people rallied behind. Blogs defended him. Commentators treated him like the underdog in a toxic dynamic. But insiders claim there's always been another side. A hidden layer of footage, DMs, and eyewitness accounts that show things weren't nearly as clear-cut as they seemed. T. Hood's sister, stepping into the fire, has reignited this entire debate by saying exactly what fans never expected to hear. They both did DV. And in those words, she isn't just defending her brother. She's accusing Kelsie of being just as guilty. Let's pause for a second. Why now? Why drop a bombshell like this after all the dust had seemingly settled? The truth, according to people close to the family, is that T. Hood's sister has been sitting on this pain for too long, watching her brother's name drag through the mud, seeing the world choose one side while ignoring the other, and watching Kelsie continue to play the victim while climbing higher in the industry pushed her to the breaking point. This wasn't just a video. It was a declaration. And if you thought this was just about defending T. Hood's reputation, think again. Because her video doesn't just name Kelsie, it hints at the possibility of other friends, other insiders who may have played a role in enabling the violence on both sides. One insider leaked a chilling DM supposedly from someone in their circle. "Y'all keep playing like Kelsie innocent. We saw what happened. We saw what both of them did. Stop lying to the world." That message, if true, doesn't just back up T. Hood's sister's claims. It blows the entire narrative wide open. And that's why this background is so important. This isn't just a story of one rapper's sister lashing out. This is a story of years of toxic loyalty, silent rivalries, and an entire circle of friends who may have been covering for each other until now. For the fans, it's heartbreaking. For the industry, it's terrifying. Because if T. Hood's sister has more evidence, and if those whispers about unreleased footage are real, then everything people thought they knew about T. Hood, about Kelsie, and about their brotherhood could be shattered forever. But here's where the suspense deepens. Insiders are warning that T. Hood's sister's video was just the first shot. Behind the scenes, there are allegedly more videos, more messages, and more proof waiting to drop. And if those see the light of day, not only will Kelsie's reputation crumble, but the industry could be forced to admit that it's been protecting the wrong person all along. And the worst part? Fans won't have to wait long. Because if the whispers are right, the next leak could surface any moment, and it won't just be words. It'll be raw, undeniable, and impossible to spin. The moment T. Hood's sister pressed post, the internet erupted like wildfire. Within minutes, her raw, shaky video was trending on Twitter, Instagram Reels, and TikTok edits. Fans didn't even need context. The words she spoke were enough to ignite chaos. In the dimly lit clip, her eyes swollen from crying, she stared straight into the camera and whispered, "Y'all think my brother was the only one? No. They both did DV. Stop lying on his name. Kelsie wasn't no victim. He was right there doing the same thing." The video was barely 2 minutes long, but every single word felt like a bullet. It wasn't polished. It wasn't staged. It was raw pain turned into a weapon. And maybe that's why it hit harder than any interview, any article, or any rumor before it. The comments section instantly divided. Wait, is she saying Kelsie wasn't innocent? This changes everything. She's only protecting her brother. Don't let her gaslight y'all. Nah, if she lying, why she crying like that? This feels real. The divide was instant, brutal, and impossible to ignore. But the real explosion came an hour later, when Kelsie went live. Thousands poured into his live stream within seconds, waiting for the clapback. He looked tired, his jaw tight, his hand gripping a blunt like it was the only thing keeping him calm. For the first few minutes, he didn't even address her directly. He let the comments flood in, watching them scroll at lightning speed. Finally, he leaned into the camera and said, "Y'all really gonna let her rewrite history? Really? After everything that man put me through?" The chat went ballistic. Some begged him to drop proof. Others accused him of playing the victim card. But then came the words that made the entire situation spiral out of control. "If y'all want the truth, I got messages. I got videos. Y'all gonna see the real him." And with that, he ended the live stream. No proof, no receipts, just a warning. The suspense was unbearable. Fans stayed glued to their phones, refreshing every second to see if he'd post. Hashtags like #NotTruth and Kelsie receipts skyrocketed to the top of trending charts. But here's the kicker. While everyone was waiting on Kelsie, another leak surfaced from a completely different angle. A Twitter account with only a few hundred followers suddenly posted a blurry screen recording of what looked like a private group chat between T. Hood, Kelsie, and 2 other unnamed friends. In the chat, one of the friends was begging them to chill. "Y'all both wilding, you know the cops watching. Stop before y'all both get locked up." That one line was enough to send shockwaves. Because if real, it confirmed exactly what T. Hood's sister had said, that the violence wasn't one-sided. that both of them were in it deep. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Blogs picked it up. YouTubers jumped on live streams to dissect every blurry pixel, and fans demanded answers. Was the leak staged? Was it photoshopped? Or had someone close to them finally broken their silence? By the end of the night, the drama had evolved from a grieving sister defending her brother to an all-out battle of receipts. And here's where the first massive twist crashed in like a wrecking ball. Kelsie, instead of dropping his proof, got caught in a new scandal of his own. Screenshots began to circulate of an alleged conversation between him and a female fan, where he admitted he wasn't proud of what happened that night, and that it wasn't just T. Hood Wilden. The internet went into meltdown. If those messages were real, it meant Kelsie had basically admitted his guilt, contradicting the victim image he'd been pushing all along. Of course, his camp tried to deny it. They called the screenshots fake, claimed they were AI-generated, said enemies were trying to smear him. But fans weren't buying it. They wanted answers, and they wanted them now. Meanwhile, T. Hood's sister doubled down. She posted a follow-up on Instagram stories with a chilling caption. "I told y'all, stop playing with my brother's name. Y'all ain't ready for the next video." The implication was terrifying. If her first clip could cause this much chaos, what would the next video reveal? The industry was already buzzing. Rappers who had stayed silent on the T. Hood Kelsie fallout were suddenly dropping cryptic tweets. A well-known Atlanta producer tweeted, "Too many PPL knew what was going on. Y'all ain't hear the half yet." By the next morning, news outlets were calling it one of the ugliest feuds in recent memory. What had started as a family defense had spiraled into a full-blown scandal threatening to destroy both legacies. And just when it seemed like the dust might settle, the first twist dropped, one that nobody saw coming. Insiders leaked that a security camera video existed, not from a phone, not from a fan, but from an actual security system, one that captured a night where things went horribly wrong. And the craziest part? Rumors said both T. Hood and Kelsie were in it. The existence of that tape flipped the internet upside down. If it dropped, it would either clear one of them or condemn them both forever. By the time the sun rose, the streets of Atlanta were buzzing. The blogs were foaming at the mouth, and fans around the world were glued to their phones. The whispers of a security tape had turned into a full-blown obsession. Nobody cared about sleep anymore. They wanted the footage. They wanted answers. Twitter was merciless. Drop the tape or stop talking. If this tape is real, careers are done. This isn't just drama anymore. This is evidence. YouTube was flooded with live streams dissecting every rumor. One blogger even claimed to have seen a preview of the footage, describing it as disturbing and undeniable proof that both men crossed lines that can't be walked back. The industry was split. Some rappers were retweeting the rumors. Others were deleting old posts about T. Hood or Kelsie, trying not to get caught in the fallout. And then came the celebrity reactions that nobody expected. A well-known R&B singer tweeted, "That tape is real. I saw it years ago. PPL ain't ready." An Atlanta DJ jumped on IG Live and dropped a bombshell. "The streets been new, y'all. Late. That footage been in the city. Labels kept it buried. Somebody finally let it out." The idea that labels had been covering this up added another layer of betrayal. Fans were furious, demanding accountability not just from T. Hood and Kelsie, but from the entire industry. But here's the twist that set everything on fire. While the world was waiting for the alleged footage to surface, another leak dropped. First, a grainy audio recording appeared on SoundCloud under a random burner account. In the recording, two male voices, allegedly T. Hood and Kelsie, could be heard screaming at each other in the background of a violent scuffle. The chilling part wasn't the fight. It was what they were yelling. One voice shouted, "You ain't no victim. You hit first," while the other snapped back, "You ruined my life, bro. You ain't taking me down with you." Fans froze. If real, this wasn't just proof of mutual violence. It was a confession that both knew how deep the situation ran. Clips of the audio spread like wildfire. TikTok edits paired the recording with moody black and white footage of T. Hood performing on stage, while Twitter threads broke down every word, trying to analyze who was speaking when. But just as fans were digesting the audio, Kelsie jumped on Instagram with an explosive new post. He shared a screenshot of his DMs showing a message from an anonymous account threatening him. "If you don't shut up about that night, the full security tape drops. You've been warned." That one screenshot flipped the story upside down. Suddenly, it wasn't just about who was guilty. It was about who was controlling the leaks. Theories spread like wildfire. The labels are threatening him. This goes higher than T. Hood and Kelsie. This is a setup. Somebody wants both. Their names ruined. Wait, what if the sister is the one leaking all this? She said she had another video coming. Meanwhile, blogs were already spinning the narrative. Headlines screamed, "The security tape war begins." New audio proves to Hood and Kelsie. Both guilty? Who is blackmailing Kelsie? Kelsie. The public was in chaos. One side defended T. Hood, saying he was being scapegoated even in death. The other side slammed Kelsie, accusing him of trying to play the victim while hiding his own dirt. And in the middle, the shadowy figure who supposedly had the tape and was pulling the strings. But here's where the second shocking reveal came crashing in. Late that night, a TikTok account popped up under the name Truth Uncovered ATL and posted a 15-second teaser clip. It wasn't the full security tape, but it was enough to make jaws drop. In the clip, two blurry figures can be seen shoving each other in what looks like a dimly lit hallway. A woman's voice in the background screams, "Stop it before y'all! Kill each other!" And then the screen cuts to black, 15 seconds. That's all it took. The internet melted down. People begged for the full upload, some offering money in the comments, others accusing the page of faking the footage for clout. But the account doubled down, captioning the clip, "This is just the beginning. Full drop coming soon. Y'all ain't ready." The stakes had just skyrocketed. Now it wasn't just rumors or sisters' words or screenshots. Now there was video evidence, or at least the promise of it. And with that, the story wasn't about grief or loyalty anymore. It was about survival, about who could outlast the leaks, who could control the narrative, and who would be destroyed when the full truth finally hit the surface. The moment that 15-second TikTok teaser dropped, the world stopped. The tape started, trending globally within minutes, climbing to the #1 spot on Twitter in under an hour. Instagram comment sections turned into war zones, and YouTube lives had tens of thousands of viewers at once, each one screaming for answers. Fans were divided down the middle. On one side, "Y'all dragging T. Hood's name for clout. He's gone. Let him rest." On the other, "This proves everything. Stop protecting abusers just because they're famous." Reddit threads piled up with people dissecting every frame of the blurry clip. Some swore they recognized T. Hood's chain glinting in the hallway. Others claimed the footage was too staged to be real. But no matter the stance, everyone agreed on one thing. This scandal had become bigger than anyone expected. Even celebrities couldn't stay quiet. Rapper Trouble Man went live saying, "Y'all don't even understand how deep this goes. Labels been covering it up. This ain't new. What's new is that someone finally got brave enough to leak it." Singer Summer Rae posted a cryptic story. "Protect women at all costs. The truth always comes out." Fans immediately assumed she was taking Kelsie's side. Meanwhile, a legendary producer dropped a tweet that broke the internet. "Y'all mad now? Wait till the unedited footage surfaces. Careers won't be the only thing ending." That one line sent shockwaves. If there was an unedited version, what else could be in it? Mainstream media jumped in. TMZ blasted headlines like, "T. Hood's legacy shattered?" Sister and leaks suggest darker truth. Complex went with, the security tape divides hip-hop community. Even CNN weighed in with a segment titled, When Hip-Hop Drama Turns into a Criminal Allegation. The sheer reach of the story meant everyone had an opinion, and no one could agree. TikTok flooded with analysis edits. Some were slow-motion breakdowns of the teaser clip, zooming in on blurred figures, overlaying dramatic captions like, "That's definitely Kelsie." Others mocked the chaos with memes like, "Imagine fighting at Taco Bell and ending up on CNN." But beneath the jokes, there was an undeniable tension. The sisters' new video had already set fire to T-Hood's memory, and now the alleged tape had the potential to burn everything else to the ground. And then came the fan protests. Outside a recording studio in Atlanta where Kelsie was rumored to be working, fans showed up with signs reading, "Drop the full tape. Justice for truth. No more cover-ups." Clips of the protest went viral, fueling even more pressure on Kelsie and the mysterious leaker. The industry was panicking. PR teams scrambled, deleting old photos and distancing their artists from both T-Hood and Kelsie. Brands that once sponsored them began quietly pulling back, reviewing partnerships. In legal speak, insiders whispered to blogs that executives were terrified. One anonymous label rep was quoted as saying, "If that tape fully leaks, it won't just ruin 2 careers. It could bring lawsuits to everybody who knew and stayed silent." And in the middle of all this chaos, the sister wasn't done. On her IG Live, she taunted fans, "Y'all think that's the full story? Trust me, I've got more receipts. Don't cry when you see what I drop next." Her words sent the internet spiraling once again. Was she connected to the Truth Uncovered ATL TikTok account? Did she have direct access to the tape? Or was she just stirring the pot to stay relevant? Either way, the public was hooked. Every minute felt like a countdown to the full drop. People weren't just waiting, they were obsessed. They set alarms, stayed up all night, and camped on live streams waiting for the next leak. And as hashtags like Jai Justice for Kelsie, Tratsai, Protect Hood, and the tape battled for dominance, one truth became clear. This wasn't just gossip anymore. This was a cultural earthquake, splitting fans, celebrities, and the industry itself in half. But just when it seemed like the debate couldn't get hotter, an unexpected voice stepped in, one that nobody saw coming. And with that voice came the kind of revelation that would push this scandal into a realm nobody dared imagine. Just when the chaos couldn't get any louder, the unexpected voice finally spoke. And no, it wasn't a fan, it wasn't a gossip blogger, and it wasn't even a celebrity trying to chase clout. This time, the bombshell came from an official source that immediately froze the entire internet in shock. Late last night, a legal document surfaced on a courthouse database in Fulton County, and within minutes, it was screenshotted and blasted across Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. The headline? Investigation opened into security footage involving deceased artist T-Hood. That's right, this wasn't just gossip anymore. The law was stepping in. Fans couldn't believe what they were reading. Was the leaked tape evidence in an actual criminal case? If so, who leaked it? And why now, months after T-Hood's tragic downfall? But the bigger twist came with the details inside. According to the documents, Kelsie's name was officially listed as a person of interest. The papers even hinted at multiple eyewitness testimonies claiming that the violence between T-Hood and Kelsie was not only mutual, but escalated to a point that may have triggered events leading to his collapse. The internet exploded. Suddenly, all the debates shifted. Was Kelsie guilty? Was she the true villain? Or was this just— And then, out of nowhere, a second bombshell dropped. A hacker collective calling themselves Shadow Circle claimed responsibility for the TikTok leaks. In a midnight Telegram post, they said, "We have the full footage. We have the raw files. The world deserves the truth, uncut." The next drop will prove who lied and who covered it up. Stay ready. Screenshots of the message spread like wildfire. People begged them in the comments, "Drop it now, expose them." Others panicked. "This is dangerous. Y'all are playing with people's lives." Suddenly, the sisters' words, "I've got more receipts," started to make sense. Was she working with Shadow Circle? Or had her own leaks inspired hackers to dig deeper into the truth? Either way, the story was no longer just about T. Hood and Kelsie. It had spiraled into something much bigger. An all-out war involving hackers, legal authorities, industry insiders, and a fan base that refused to back down. Insiders whispered that Kelsie had already gone into hiding. Paparazzi reportedly staked out her Atlanta apartment but couldn't find her. Rumors swirled that she was flown out of the state by label executives who feared she'd break under pressure and spill everything. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories started catching fire. Some fans claimed the hackers weren't real, that they were actually insiders using a fake identity to control the narrative. Others believed the raw tape might reveal not just violence, but conversations implicating powerful names in hip-hop and beyond. The tension reached a fever pitch when one final message appeared from Shadow Circle. "The truth isn't what you think. You'll find out who the real villain is soon. Don't blink." And just like that, silence. No new leaks, no new posts. Just an entire fan base sitting on edge, waiting for the next drop like it was Judgment Day. The cliffhanger was unbearable. Fans spammed Twitter with countdown memes saying, "We refreshing every hour until Shadow Circle saves the world." But beneath the memes was real fear. Because if this hacker group truly had the unedited footage, then careers weren't the only things at risk. Lives, legacies, and even the law itself were now tangled in the web. And as fans replayed the sisters' video, slowed down the TikTok teaser, and argued over every blurry frame, one thing became clear. The final chapter of this scandal hasn't been written yet. Because if Shadow Circle drops what they claim to have, the truth won't just destroy reputations. It could expose a conspiracy that goes far deeper than anyone dared imagine. The internet now has just one question. Who will break first? Kelsie, the hackers, or the entire industry itself? One thing's for sure. This story is far from over. And the next reveal might just be the most devastating one yet. And now we need to talk, because after everything we've just uncovered, one thing is crystal clear. This story is not finished, but here's the question only you can answer. Who do you believe? Do you believe T. Hood's sister, who swears Kelsie wasn't innocent and both sides were guilty of violence? Or do you think she's just protecting her brother's legacy while shifting the blame? Do you trust the hacker collective Shadow Circle, claiming they hold the uncut truth? Or do you think that's just another stunt to fuel the fire? And the biggest question of all, if the raw footage really drops, whose career ends first? Will Kelsie's entire reputation collapse overnight? Or will the truth drag out names even bigger than her? Maybe executives, maybe other rappers, people who thought they were untouchable. We want to hear your take, because this debate is about to explode. Drop your comments below. Don't just scroll, speak up. The world is watching, and your voice is part of this story. Make sure you smash that like button if you want the truth exposed, and hit subscribe with notifications on. Because trust me, when the next leak hits, you're not going to want to miss it. We're already digging for more insider info, and from what we're hearing, the next drop could shake the industry to its core. Imagine seeing names you never expected caught in the middle of this chaos. That's what insiders are whispering. And when it happens, you'll be the first to know, right here, so don't go anywhere. This isn't the end. This is just the calm before the storm. Stay ready, because the truth is coming. And when it hits, the fallout will be bigger than anyone ever imagined.